So I have had to run because they're closing down. The last half hour has just shot by. As one of the prides and joys here is the Valkyrie. It's in the experimental section. So you see a lot of fascinating aircraft, which I would love to walk around. X-15, there's an X-3 Stiletto back there. The X-29 is sitting up top there. Beautiful aircraft. The vertical aircraft. There is an F-23 way over there. The losing prototype lost that to the F-22, of course. There's an X-1 hiding back there. There's a Goblin just out of sight. There he is. And on the other side, you can walk through a whole lot of fairly famous aircraft. Behind the C-141, there's the Sacred Cow, the Independence, and one of the Air Force Ones, and Eisenhower's Constellation. Can't remember what it's called offhand. There is obviously more in there. It's a flying boxcar. You can just see the tail end of. They have a couple of them here. That one's a satellite catcher. And well, that is basically all I have time to show you, because as you can hear from the music, they really want to make sure we leave. I got here, I should tell you, at about 10 a.m. I took a half-hour break for lunch. Missile section. So actually I'll go downstairs. Merv. So as I say, I got here at 10 a.m. and I've been on my feet walking around reading things until now when I'm getting kicked off with the half-hour break for lunch. This is probably not a museum you can do in one day. Not if you want to do it properly. There are not many musea that I could say that. I was kicked out of the Smithsonian once for not getting out in time. But yeah, it's a large museum. So apparently this Challenger is sort of like the modern version of the Japanese car in Cannonball Run. You can silence the exhaust, you can turn off the headlights, and it's got a FLIR system so you can drive in complete darkness. I don't know if it'll hide you from the radar or laser of the speed traps. I don't think it's said. Although it does beg the question whether or not people in the skunk works have done this to their cars. Selection of opposition aircraft. Good night. Scorpion.
All this is online too, like you're doing.
Oh well. Well, film is cheap. And you have just enough time, I guess, to go through the gift shop, see if there's anything worth watching in there. So one last thing now that I've been kicked out. They have an old tower which unfortunately is only open certain days a week, and today isn't one of them. But if you leave in a hurry, you may miss one of the other unique features of this museum and this collection. that is way back here beyond the C-17. It's going to take us a few minutes to get here. Oh, it's an early AC-130. I'm sure this had some sort of wonderful name like a platypus. One of the many 135s. EC-135 area. Well, I guess if the government makes you buy more C-17s than you really want, you can afford to put one in a museum. Although I suspect this is one of the earliest ones. I always had a very interesting sort of tail shape, the vertical stabilizer being a little wider up top than it is down below. But the one that caught my eye on the way in was this boxcar. Very unassuming little thing. But if I have my guess correctly, that is one of the MX boxcars that was used, at least the theory went, I don't know if it ever entered service. You made a freight train out of these things. Looked like any other freight train on the rails, at least supposedly. And this is actually an erector launcher system for a nuclear intercontinental missile. And your giveaway, which I will assume you cannot easily tell from satellites, is the fact that you've got 4 trucks or bogies under the boxcar instead of just one. One on each end, too. You get the point. WECX would be a reporting mark X at the end as private corporation. So I'm going to go with Westinghouse. Peacekeeper rail garrison car. 25 US Air Force trains, 2 per train. Let's control more in this car. Doesn't say what the garrison is. Is that the actual missile launcher? Oh, bottom line, nuclear missile on a train. Oh, with pistons, I note, in the middle there, you can, I presume, to lower them down for stability during launching. So there you go. Dana High US Air Force Museum. Lovely summer day. This is definitely a 2-day museum. This is not a museum. If you're going to do this properly, you definitely need 2 days to do it. And there are not very many museums that I will say that this is the case. National Museum of the US Air Force, that's one of them. Alright, take care.